This is the Bible of the electrogenic cell. It's not just the best book ever written on the subject, it's the only book ever written on this subject. Brought to you by supporters of Christ.
Peace, 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 peace to the family. Man, I just was with y'all all night. What y'all doing over here? I love y'all. I did not think I would see y'all because I was just with y'all. But yeah, that's where I'd be at. I'd be over there like once every 2 or every 3 months. Yeah, once every 2 or every 3 months. So that'd be good. I'll bring y'all over there too. You know what I'm saying? But now we got to get to this. We got to review this. We have the review of certain, so we got to review this over here for the record. You know what I'm saying? We got to review this. I think Paul was in there, but and I think we start the review off with the comment section. That's what we need to do. We got to start this review off with the comment section. The comment section is kind of crazy. So let's check their comment section out. Because I was in the comment section. And the comment section is crazy. Shout out to Soulful Glam Girl. Peace to Soulful Glam Girl. Soulful Glam Girl and Zymatic Resonance. You you always know when you with conscious folks, right? Oh my goodness. That's the beauty of it. We complain about the internet and social media all the time, but being able to link up with our people, you know what I'm saying? And when I say our people, I just mean, people who call themselves Soulful Glam Girl and Zymatic Resonance, and you know what I'm saying? I be needing to be surrounded in that type of, with that kind of energy sometime throughout the day. So it is a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. We got international family tapping in from other continents and all that. Yeah. So let's get to this review over here. So let's start. See, this is not. Hold on. Let me help you. This is not that. Okay, that's so what this is at the nighttime is strictly for trolling. This is strictly for trolling, the educational content. If you can learn something while having a good time, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? But this is something else going on here. So this is a debate I had earlier this afternoon, and this is a debate I had. With I got a debate coming up on the 25th, and one of the brothers from the team that I'm debating. This is the craziest thing. When I get into these debates, it's always me versus like 20 other people. But anyway, this is one of the other brothers from over there. So let's just go through these comments real quick. Chunk Mania said, "Love when he reads, bro. It's the best ish ever." Chunk Mania is talking about Unc. There's quite a few people that get a good kick out of Unc reading. Kevlar the God said, "A few minutes in, and I already know." I added a few words. A few minutes in, and I know EnQi is the truth. Information Devastation 5831 said, "EnQi did that boy something nasty. When you have to resort to temper tantrums and start making incoherent points, it's a deficiency of self-control." Chris Smith 3206 said, "Wow. Just wow. Cedric doesn't know that he just debunked Unc again." Okay, so that's something else now. That's something I gotta look at, because the video, this video that we getting ready to look at, right? I did this earlier today, but I did it in response to a video they did yesterday, right? And so when they did the video yesterday, I didn't have time to watch the whole video, but like within the first 30 minutes or so, I saw that Unc was saying something and Cedric was saying something that kind of hurt Unc's strategy, right? Because these back and forths we're having is leading up to us having our debate on the 25th. So I'm assuming, right, that Unc, like me, is using some sort of strategy with these videos that he's doing to try to help him win the debate, because I know I have a strategy, right? There are certain things I'm saying. There are certain things I'm not saying, right? So I know I have a strategy. So I'm assuming that Unc has a strategy. And so what I noticed yesterday was that Unc was saying something, and then Cedric came in and said something that didn't seem like it didn't, so I was like, oh yeah. I'm going to exploit this weakness right here. I'm going to exploit this. So I'm saying all that to say, the chat is now noticing something else. They're noticing something else that Cedric is saying that's debunking something else that Unc is saying. And so there's an advantage to being alone. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes maybe you don't know, but like, see, I learned this from the neighborhood. Sometimes I have lessons that I've learned in the most ignorant, craziest places that translate over to some other places in life. So like back in the days, people was into jumping people. You know what I'm saying? And when you're jumping somebody, sometimes the person being jumped has an advantage because it's only one person, one target. If you're getting jumped by like 2 or 3 people, you don't have an advantage. But if you're getting jumped by like 5 or 10 people, you have some advantages because they might start hitting each other. They'll start hitting each other because you be in the way. So, this is what happens when it's 20v1, everybody that's trying to attack, they just so, flimsy with what you accidentally hitting your guy. And that's kind of what's happening right here. Cedric is accidentally, stepping on Unk's toes with, and so I caught that. And now in the comment section, they catching something else. So as we rewatch this video, I'll definitely be looking for this thing that they highlighting so I can highlight it and then start trolling. I'll be trolling very shortly. So, yeah. Wow, just wow. Cedric doesn't know that he just debunked Unk again. Unk said in that 5-hour video with EnQi that the difference between Darwin and the other guy that co-wrote the paper on the subject, Unk kept saying all night that Darwin had the mechanism. That's why Darwin was the one that did this and that. Now here's Cedric telling us that Darwin didn't have the mechanism. So Unk said that Darwin did. Cedric said doesn't agree with Unk, or one of them doesn't know the facts on the subject. Now we got Raheem Hannibal 340. If you test the scientific theory, I think that test counts as an experiment. Then you have some other random guy named Dr. EnQi. He tapped in and said, correct. And if the test fails, question mark, question mark, question mark. King J reacts to Dr. EnQi saying, then the hypothesis did not support the initial prediction. And then Dr. EnQi responds to King J with a sound effect. Then we have Illustrious Gamer. Illustrious Gamer YT says Cedric does need to calm down a little bit. He lacks self-control. It looks bad. Crown Jewels Music Group says Darwin was a bullshitter. I think I like this comment most of all. I think I like this comment most of all. Yeah, let's go ahead and like this comment right here. Darwin was a bullshitter. Yeah, we're gonna hit him with a long distance hug or handshake or dap, a pound, something, right? Yeah, I like this comment. Chris Smith. Wait a minute, is that Chris Smith again? Yes, that's Chris Smith again. So let Unk tell it, Darwin had the mechanism, but if you let Cedric tell it, Darwin didn't have the mechanism. So who's right, Cedric or Unk? Chris, I think that's a great question. We're going to dig into this video. I'm going to write that down, and we are going to eventually get to the bottom of that.
You coming in here laughing. This ain't no laughing matter.
Oh, man.
Matter. Cedric and Unk is trying to take your head off, brother.
Yo, listen, let me say this, man. First of all, respect the healer. You see that right there, son? Respect the healer. That's what we got to get on. That's the new vibe that we creating. Instead of respect the shooter, it's respect the healer. That's what we got to get on. That's the new frequency. Respect the healer. Okay, now I can't even get started with the program without shouting out Suntan. Was you paying attention, Sal? Suntan was in there working Unk. Unk was in there talking super crazy. And Suntan, of all people, Suntan was like holding it down yesterday. I think I might have to hit the share screen immediately, one time for the one time. Let me see if I can find this. I think I might have to pull up the Suntan video, man. I think we need to pull up the Suntan video just to get things started off on the right foot. I feel like it ain't gonna be proper unless we pull up the Suntan. Because Suntan was holding it down yesterday. Unk was talking crazy, and Suntan was in there like, I don't even understand it. Suntan was on his body. Pause. Hit that share screen, Si. Let's see the elder suntan working Unc.
The ones that make it here is based off of saying, I don't know. I was wrong. And then you move forward. You can never move forward till you recognize when you're wrong. You can never move forward until you stop trying to do something that you just don't know. See that? So you have crossed the barrier, bro. And I really appreciate that, yo. Pick up the wise, man. Yo, go ahead and get your money, yo. We're going to run across the other path again, yo. I'm going to holler at you, yo.
A lot of times, and I'm just going to say this and leave that alone and get back to EnQi. Yeah, a lot of time, a man got to learn to concede.
That's right.
You understand? If you can't, that's when you grow, right? So I'm going to flip it right back on you. That's why EnQi took the debate. Because believe it or not, and you know EnQi slick himself, he learns off what you said. And he go and research it. And then he come back and get you it. So I'm going to leave it there because...
Yeah, we're going to bring that back a few times. Because that's exactly what done happened here once again. And I really appreciate Suntan. I really appreciate Suntan because it empowers me. It energizes me when I see that the people is like paying attention. See, Suntan noticed something. He said, now listen, now you know that EnQi is going to listen to what you're saying, and then he going to come back and get you. He said, what is that?
Believe it or not, and you know EnQi slick himself, he learns off what you said, and he go and research it. And then he come back and get you it off what you said, and he go and research it. And then he come back and get you it off what you said, and he go and research it. And then he come back and get you it off what you said. And he go and research it. And then he come back and get you it. So
you see that right there, Si. That right there, Si, that's the one right there. That's like the main thing of the main thing right there. Like that's the whole main situation that we have to deal with today. The main situation that we have to deal with today is Unc, like this scientific theory thing that Unc be going through. Like Unc be going through something with this scientific theory. He be going through something. Like he feel like I don't even understand it. Like he feel like he got something with that. You know what I'm saying? Like he goes into this whole diatribe about the scientific theory thing. You know, like, yeah, and EnQi don't know what a scientific theory is. Because if EnQi knew what a scientific theory was, he would never took the debate. EnQi know what a scientific... I was so proud of the elder Suntan to say, you know what? It's people in the audience that really understands what it is that I'm doing. They know that I'm getting ready to listen to what Unc say and then come back and get it.
Scientific theory. That's the same thing. EnQi don't know what the hell a scientific theory is, else he wouldn't have took the damn debate. That's why I'm showing this. Okay, a scientific theory is an explanation of an aspect of the natural world that can be or that has been repeatedly tested and as corroborating evidence. It's in accordance with the scientific method using accepted protocols and observations, measurements and evaluations and results. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Wait. That's it?
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Why didn't he? Hold up.
Theory. That's the same.
Cedric, I see you in the chat, man. Hey, Cedric, I see you in the chat, family. Listen, Cedric, I'm glad you pulled up to the chat, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the people notice that, you know, Unc was driving that car and he had Jabari in the passenger seat. Unc was driving that car and he had Jabari in the passenger seat. And Jabari wound up, featured in a couple of these clips. And it's like, boom, what happened to that boy? He was talking evolution. We put a clap into that boy. What happened to that boy? We ain't seen Jabari. Jabari jumped out that passenger seat and hit the 100. Jabari ran out of that. We ain't seen Jabari since. Now, you jumped in that passenger seat. I don't know why you jumped in that passenger seat. In fact, you know what's so crazy is, let me explain to y'all something before we even go through this video, family. Let me explain something to y'all. Some people want to teach. Some people want to share information. And some people just want to be known. They just want people to see them. They just want people to hear them and say their name. They just want to be known. And what happens is when you get on the team and you're not a team player, you wind up taking an unauthorized shot. You see what I'm saying? You just got drafted on the team and you taking a shot. You supposed to pass it to Luka. You supposed to pass it to Braun. You supposed to pass it to Giannis. You're not authorized to start shooting the ball. But see, Cedric out there, he ain't really trying to help Unc as much as he trying to get known. He want people to know his name. He want me to say his name. He want to be known. So what happens is Unc is trying to teach something, and Unc don't know exactly what he's saying. God bless his soul. Unc don't know no better. Unc don't know no better. That's why we had to change his name from Unc to Unc. Unc don't know no better. But he got a strategy. He trying to do something. I'm trying to do something. He got a strategy. And then here goes Cedric coming out of nowhere, jumping off the top rope. Cedric don't realize that he jumped off the top rope and then he debunked Unc. Cedric the Entertainer. Cedric the Entertainer debunked Unc. That's crazy. And I said to myself, I wonder if nobody noticed that Cedric debunked Unc. I said, was they paying attention, or is it that the people don't understand the material enough to understand that Cedric debunked Unc? Then I said to myself, wait a minute, maybe Unc already knows that he's debunked because Unc is trying to pull the wool over people's eyes. Unc pulls up the definition for scientific theory and he don't even read the whole thing. He don't even read the whole definition. I said, this is crazy. This is nasty work. So come on, Cedric the Entertainer. You have been inducted. You have been inducted into the Kings of Comedy. Cedric the Entertainer, you have been inducted into the Kings of Comedy. You have been inducted into the Kings of Comedy.
EnQi don't know what the hell is scientific theory. Scientific theory. That's the same thing. EnQi don't know what the hell a scientific theory is, else he wouldn't have took the damn debate. That's why I'm showing this. Okay, a scientific theory is an explanation of an aspect of the natural world that can be or that has been repeatedly tested and as corroborating evidence. It's in accordance with the scientific method using accepted protocols and observations, measurements and evaluations and results. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Wait. That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Why didn't he?
That's it.
Why didn't he keep reading to the word experiment?
That's it.
Why didn't he mention validating the predictions of the hypothesis? You sure that's it?
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
We have a model, a hypothesis of abiogenesis, life emerging from chemical processes, and there are parts and portions of that hypothesis that has been filled. The main problem to create and produce a scientific theory, you would need a prediction, and you would need to recreate Earth's early circumstances to accurately model that effect. And that process of accurately modeling early Earth's environment is quite difficult and almost impossible. So abiogenesis, we have the concepts of how early life formed, the first cells, but it's not, like Ankh said, a complete scientific theory because we don't have a complete working model and we don't have a prediction. What? But it's not, like Ankh said, a complete scientific theory because we don't have a complete working model and we don't have a prediction. What? But it's not, like Ankh said, a complete scientific theory because we don't have a complete working model, because we don't have a complete working model, and we don't have a prediction. What? But we don't have a prediction. It's not, like Ankh said, we don't have a prediction. Complete scientific, we don't have a prediction theory because we don't have a prediction. A complete working model, we don't have a prediction, and we don't have a prediction. What? But it's not, like Ankh said, a complete scientific theory because we don't have a complete working model and we don't have a prediction.
Rise up, get healthy, let the truth ignite. Dr. EnQi always bringing dark to light. See more senior system.
Zelly, hold on. So we got EnQi in the building. He says, listen, I have a whole book available on Amazon now. It says blacks, what? Anatomy, AL solves the evolution problem. Yeah, go get that book. Go get the book. All right? We're going to get the book and do a book read on it, and we're going to tear it to smithereens. Hold on. So we got EnQi in the building. He says, listen, I have a whole book available on Amazon now. It says blacks, what? Anatomy, AL solves the evolution problem. Yeah, go get that book. Go get the book. All right? We're going to get the book and do a book read on it, and we're going to tear it to smithereens. You got to get it to tear it to smithereens. You don't know what the hell a scientific theory is, else you wouldn't have took the damn debate. That's why I'm showing this. Okay, a scientific theory is an explanation of an aspect of the natural world that can be or that has been repeatedly tested.
Now listen, I want y'all to pay close attention to this. Hey, listen, I want y'all to pay close attention to this. Because this is like that moment in the Menace to Society movie when he was getting interrogated. Remember, he was getting interrogated, and the cop said, "Now you said you bought the 40 ounce. What you said? You said you bought the beer at 10:45." He said, "No, yeah. We bought the beer at 10:45." He said, "Now, see, you know, you just effed up right now, right? You know you just effed up right now, right?" No. Because no. We did buy the beer at 9:45, but I thought it was 10:45.
Scientific theory. That's the same thing. EnQi don't know what the hell a scientific theory is, else he wouldn't have took the damn debate. That's why I'm showing this. Okay, a scientific theory is an explanation of an aspect of the natural world that can be or that has been repeatedly tested and as corroborating evidence. It's in accordance with the scientific method using accepted protocols and observations, measurements, and evaluations and results. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Okay? That's it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Wait. That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Why didn't he?
That's it.
Why didn't he keep reading to the word experiment?
That's it.
Why didn't he mention validating the predictions of the hypothesis? You see that right there? See, listen, let me explain this to y'all, because see, y'all may not understand this. Y'all might just be laughing because y'all entertained. You're like EnQi trolling as usual. Listen, the problem with Unk's whole concept, the problem with Cedric and Unk, the tag Batman and Robin, right? Batman and Robin, Steve Harvey, Unk is Steve Harvey and Cedric the Innertainer. The problem with Steve Harvey and Cedric the Innertainer is that they are standing on a house of cards. And I didn't open up the door. I just want y'all to know as we go forward, right? There has been a door open that can never be closed. It is the door, it's the gateway to hell for evolutionists, for Darwinists, okay? They have opened up the wrong door. Okay, so now here's the door that's open. And I want to say this because this is teaching, this is class, this is for the family out there that always wanted to be able to debunk Unk and these guys with this foolishness, but you didn't quite have the right tools in your hand to be able to really just silence the lambs. They have given you all the tools that you need yesterday in their live stream. Cedric want to be known. He want to be popular. He want to be famous. So Unk is saying one thing, and then Cedric jumps off the top rope with some information Unk did not even ask him for. Anybody ask Cedric to jump off the top rope? He mean Gene. You know, he the manager of the wrestler that come and hit you over the head with the chair when you're not looking like, what are you? Nobody asked him to jump off the top. So he jumps off the top rope and says that the theory, that one of the theories they work, you know, the theory is an incomplete theory because, you know, they don't have a complete model and they don't have the ability to create predictions. So let me give y'all some education, because this is the reason why Unk doesn't fully read the definition of scientific theory. You know, he reads a portion of it and then says, that's it right there. No, that's it. Because he wants y'all to believe that's it. So he tells you that's it like 3 times. Oh, no, that's it. People still asking him, no, keep reading. He like, no, that's it. I ain't reading no more, that's it. When you create a scientific theory, when you create a hypothesis, your hypothesis is supposed to have in it. This is how it works. This is science. Your hypothesis is supposed to make predictions that when you do your experiments are supposed to validate. I want y'all to really understand this, because this is probably the most important part of this whole video today, this whole debate, this whole conversation. Your hypothesis is supposed to make predictions that your experiments are supposed to validate. When you make a hypothesis, your prediction is inside your hypothesis. When you do your experiment has to validate the predictions that you made. If not, that means your hypothesis is falsified. See, this is the vocabulary they want you to use. You know, if you don't speak, the college professor language, you know, Jabari has created this whole ruse where, you know, so This is how you falsify a scientific theory. This is how you falsify a hypothesis. The prediction made has to be confirmed and, collaborated. You know that word, collaborated. It has to be collaborated by the experiment. The prediction has to be collaborated by the experiment. So let me explain to you guys before we watch this video once again. Let me explain to you guys what Cedric did yesterday. By Cedric jumping off the top rope, Unc did not ask him anything. I have to remind y'all that. Cedric inserted himself into the conversation. He has very little self-control. He just jumped into the conversation. He said, yeah, because scientific theory is not complete because we don't have a working model. And we don't have any predictions. Okay, so working model is where you have a hypothesis that makes predictions that are valid. And they're valid because you run experiments. So now that Cedric has introduced shout out to Jamar Allen in the chat. So now that Cedric has introduced this concept, right? Unc has opened the door, honestly. Unc opened the door by constantly saying that nobody understands scientific theory except for him. And he's been reading that definition over and over and over again for 20 years already. For the last 20 years, he's been he's been struggling to read it, but that's what he's been relying on. And EnQi don't know what a scientific theory is, or he would never have taken this debate. And I'm always laughing. I'm saying to myself, does Unc understand the words that he's reading them as he's reading them? And
I think Cedric killed it yesterday, EnQi.
He did. I agree.
A lot of questions. I think Cedric went in.
No, he didn't win in, but he definitely killed it. He killed any type of opportunity that Unc thought he had. Yeah, you're right, Si. He definitely killed it. Listen, because now what's going to happen is, let me tell you what's going to happen now. Now that we got this on the record, Unc opened the door up by reading the definition, and then Cedric jumped off the top ropes, unwanted, mind you. Got to keep adding that in. He jumped off the top ropes, and he added in working model and valid predictions, right? So now, all we have to do now is everything that Unc and Cedric present, all we have to do is ask them for the working model and the experiments that validate the predictions. All we have to do is continuously now just ask for the evidence. You see, that's all we have to do at this point, is just stick to what the framework that Unc and Cedric, that Steve Harvey, Unc Harvey and Cedric the Innertainer have laid out for us, people. All we have to do listen, Khalik, I see you in the chat, Khalik. Master Khalik. You want somebody to notice you too. I know. That's how Cedric started, calling my name out, insulting me, ad hominems. Master Khalik. Master Khalik, while you in the chat talking crazy, could you please drop a working model for Unc's? Can you drop a working model with some valid experiment proven predictions and hypotheses that come from the other side over there? Can you do that? Can you show us Darwin's work? Oh, so they done open up the door. They want to close this door. Listen, this is crazy right here.
Scientific theory. That's the same thing. EnQi don't know what the hell a scientific theory is, else he wouldn't have took the damn debate. That's why I'm showing this. Okay. A scientific theory is an explanation of an aspect of the natural world that can be or that has been repeatedly tested and as corroborating evidence. It's in accordance with the scientific method using accepted protocols and observations, measurements and evaluations and results. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Wait. That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Why didn't he?
That's it.
Why didn't he keep reading to the word experiment?
That's it.
Why didn't he mention validating the predictions of the hypothesis? You sure that's it?
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
We have a model, a hypothesis of abiogenesis, life emerging from chemical processes, and there are parts and portions of that hypothesis that has been filled. The main problem to create and produce a scientific theory, you would need a prediction, and you would need to recreate Earth's early circumstances to accurately model that effect. And that process of accurately modeling early Earth's environment is quite difficult and almost impossible. So abiogenesis, we have the concepts of how early life formed, the first cells, but it's not, like Ang said, a complete scientific theory because we don't have a complete working model and we don't have a prediction. What? But it's not, like Ang said, a complete scientific theory because we don't have a complete working model and we don't have a prediction. What? But it's not, like Ang said, a complete scientific theory because we don't have a complete working model, because we don't have a complete working model, and we don't have a prediction. What? But we don't have a prediction. It's not, like Ang said, we don't have a prediction. Complete scientific, we don't have a prediction theory because we don't have a prediction. A complete working model, we don't have a prediction, and we don't have a prediction. What? But it's not, like Ang said, a complete scientific theory because we don't have a complete working model and we don't have a prediction.
Rise up, get healthy, let the truth ignite. Dr. EnQi always bringing dark to light. CMOS senior system.
EnQi, you're a bad boy. Why do you need to lie? Why are you this petty?
So we got EnQi in the building. He says, listen, I have a whole book available on Amazon now. It says blacks, what? Anatomy, AL solves the evolution problem. Yeah, go get that book. Go get the book. All right. We're gonna get the book and do a book read on it, and we're gonna tear it to smithereens. But you got to get it to tear it to smithereens.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Robbins.
What you got for me, Cedric?
No. I'm gonna do a quick drive-by, EnQi. I'm gonna share my screen for exactly 3 minutes, and I'll be out of here, and you can continue with this show because we was.
That's not what you're gonna do. That's not what you're gonna do. Ho. No, that's not what you're gonna do. Listen. What you're gonna do? Wait, no. Listen. This is not the community of skeptics. Listen. Hello.
I'm gonna call you a liar in your face, or your inability to accurately use.
Let him go, Cedric. Let him go.
Exactly. Let me go, Cedric. You gotta stop talking, Cedric.
Just like
hit the mute on this. Hit the mute side.
When I say just like I'm illustrated, I was
Cedric. You gotta relax, man. Listen,
now,
you gotta relax.
I'm gonna share my screen.
No, you're not gonna share your screen.
Well, you scared?
No, you're gonna do it in time. You're gonna relax.
Why
you on my show, so you gotta follow my program. This is not the community acceptance.
You want to make me famous? Come deal with me. I'm right here now. So now,
all right, you gotta relax. You gotta act like a man.
Now
you gotta act like a man, brother.
I'm gonna make you look foolish and stupid.
You gotta act like a man, brother. You gotta act like a grown up.
If you would act like a man, you wouldn't create.
You gotta act like a man, brother. You gotta be a grown up.
If you was gonna be a grown up, you wouldn't have chopped up a so let's deal with you.
You mad?
Are you ready to get your lies handed?
You mad?
You scared? You scared?
Look how mad he is.
Scared. Look how scared you is. Share my screen, sir. Let's deal with this.
We're not sharing your screen. Listen.
Are you scared? Are you scared?
You gotta answer some questions first. All you gotta do is answer some questions first.
Share my screen, sir.
All you got to do is answer some questions first.
Yo, let me say this to y'all. I'm gonna let it go, but I just want to say this real quick. I was so disappointed at what he actually finally put up on the screen when I let him share his screen, because he's saying like, yo, like he making it seem like when he share his screen, it's gonna be crazy. Like blood is gonna be on the walls. Like it's gonna be crazy when he share his screen. And wait till you see what he shared. Oh my God, Jesus, take the wheel. This is crazy.
You can share your screen.
So let me share my screen. Let me share my screen and get what you scared of. What you scared?
No, I'm in control. That's all. This is just my show. This not your show. We're not at the community of skeptics, brother.
Look at you. You shaking in your boots because you know I got you, right? You know I got you because you can't flim flam me because I'm smarter than you on any given thing. So why don't you let me share my screen? Let us entertain the audience. Let's share our screen. While you play that nonsense in the background, I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna see how the two line up. Because we are talking about abiogenesis in this clip, and abiogenesis is a separate subject from the theory of evolution. So now let's examine why Darwin's theory of evolution is a theory. You want to do that and compare it to why abiogenesis is still a hypothesis? Because you seem to be confused about these two distinct topics. And in doing that, you're making Ank's point valid. You have no clue what a theory in science means. So if you don't want me to share my screen, I would let you continue with your infantile display, demonstrating again that you have no command of the English language.
Don't run.
No, I'm going to share my screen. And then I'm gonna say,
no, you're not. You gotta talk.
And then I'm gonna leave.
You gotta talk. See, that's what you wanted. Nah, you ain't getting ready to do that.
What I needed to say. So after you're done, I'll come back and share my screen because you're too coward to face me right here. So let me share my screen. Let me put it down, and you gotta
answer some questions first.
No,
you gotta answer some questions first.
Respond to facts. I'm not doing 21 questions with you. You are not on my level, so you don't question me, especially after you're making a clip.
So drop down then.
So let us deal.
Drop down. You out of here.
Let me deal with your little clip. You ain't ready to
do that on your page.
Why are you afraid of me? Why are you scared? I'm
right not afraid. You the one that's afraid to answer questions.
Yeah, my screen. He said he's not
afraid. All you gotta do is answer some questions first.
He said he's not afraid. Share my screen, please.
Answer some questions.
Let's deal with EnQi's lies in real time.
All you gotta do is answer some questions. If not, you're wasting our time. If you're not gonna answer no questions, you're wasting our time. You gotta go.
And no. You lied on me. You have your little clip. Now I'm up here to deal with it. I'm gonna respond.
All right, so relax.
Respond to your clip.
You gotta have a dialogue, brother. You gotta be able to close your mouth for a second. You gotta be able to close your mouth and show some self-control.
You have a clip that is completely out of context. Like,
show some discipline, man. Show some
discipline. Is a separate subject from evolution. And abiogenesis is still in its hypothesis phase. Why? Because we can't create the early conditions of Earth. However, abiogenesis and evolution are two different subjects. And if you think you're going to confuse evolution and abiogenesis in the same conversation, then you're poorly mistaken. Again, illustrating you have no idea what the theory of evolution is and why Darwin's predictions came later on to be proven true. His predictions, which were established later on, made his hypothesis and all his experiment a hard scientific theory. The same way the Big Bang theory was established much later on when the prediction of the CMB was ultimately discovered. So again, EnQi, you're illustrating your ignorance and making these infantile clips is a waste of Sarnetta's good audience time and the intellect of the people. Read the chat, EnQi. You're being clowned.
I don't need to read the chat. I don't need to read the chat.
So let me share my screen.
No, you cannot share your screen, brother, until you answer questions and stop talking.
All right, hold up. Cedric, he's gonna let you share your screen, but he wants you to answer some questions first. Don't be scared, Cedric. Answer his question. Answer his question. You know you're gonna knock him out the park when you answer
abiogenesis. Let's go. What is abiogenesis? Not abiogenesis, abiogenesis. The way scientific community.
No, he wants you to answer his questions.
What question you got for me, EnQi? Stay right here. Stay right here. We're dealing with abiogenesis and Darwin's theory of evolution. We ain't doing nothing else. Stay right here. Because I'm coming up here to combat your false allegations made right now. So let's stay right here. Are you going to stay right here? Or you can let me share my screen, clear up the nonsense.
Let's go, EnQi, let's go. Answer the question.
Let's go. Stay right here.
Listen, Cedric, let me just explain something to you first.
No, but you were going to ask me a question, though. Go ahead. Ask me the question.
Cedric, listen to what I'm telling you, though. Before I ask you the question, I need you to take it down from like a number 11 to like a 6 or a 5.
When you lie on me, this is what you get. So you're going to deal with...
Wait a minute. Hold on. What lie did I tell on you?
Stupid.
Come on, y'all. Words. Information. Come on, man.
Cedric, using words in a calm, like adult manner. What lie did I tell on you today?
So that clip that you put up stating that I body slammed Unc, no, I was actually doubling down, reiterating the point Unc previously made. We were having a conversation solely about abiogenesis. And the state of the academic field today, you know for a fact, there is no complete theory of abiogenesis. Why? And the examples I gave is because we can't recreate the Earth's early circumstances. So when I said, like Ankh said, no, like Ankh said, I was agreeing with. So your infantile clip trying to put me against Ankh when I was actually reiterating what Ankh said when I said no, like Ankh said, no, like Ankh said, again, no, like Ankh said, and to make that clip either illustrate your ignorance to the English language or your weak attempt to blame, flim-flam, and bamboozle the people, trying to create a distinction between Unkh's and I position when I was supporting his position with regards to abiogenesis. That has nothing to do with Darwin's theory of evolution. And if you're conflating the two, you're making Unkh's point again. You have no idea what a scientific theory is.
Okay, so great. So for the record, does Darwin's concept specifically, because you said we're speaking specifically about Darwin, correct?
No, we're speaking about the theory of evolution by means of natural selection. Darwin's
hold on. Right. Darwin said, that's what I just said. That's what I said. I need you to come from
evolution.
I need you to come down, brother. You listen. Your energy is too high. You got too much. You got too much.
Too much for you. Too much for you. Restate your question.
No. You got too much for yourself. Listen, you didn't even put your shirt on. You came on here with your tank top on. Like,
go ahead with your question. Listen, I'm always ready.
No, okay. So can you please tell us the experiment, right? The experiment that validates Darwin. I need you to stop talking. You gotta stop talking.
You gotta let him talk, man. He let you talk.
You gotta stop talking. Yeah, listen. I need you to explain to the people the experiment that validates Darwin's predictions for the blending of inheritance.
Very specifically.
So
I didn't finish. You gotta relax.
No. So
you gotta relax. You got what's happening? You falling apart. Listen.
Cedric, you can't let him get you, Cedric.
No,
he's ripping you apart. You gotta let him talk, though.
Himself. That's all.
You gotta let him speak. Cedric, let him finish.
So for the people, I want you to explain to us, right? The experiment.
How wrong you are.
The experiment.
How ignorant we are to the scientific process. To think that it's merely
Cedric, please, brother, you got to be quiet while he's talking, Cedric. Come on, you got to show discipline, Cedric.
Come on, sir.
Nah, man, he was quiet when you were speaking. You got to give him that same thing.
Asking me the question, and the fact that I already given him the answers is what is frustrating him. He's completely wrong, and he knows I'm going to get him off.
Come on, you got to let him talk, because I'm going to let you get your... Believe me, when you talk, I'm going to tell him to be quiet, too.
You ain't going to have to.
To answer this question, I'm going to respond with
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to respond with words. You're not listening. You're not sitting here trying to smuggle in your video and then run, Cedric. You're gonna have to be like a man. You're gonna have to show discipline. You're gonna have to answer questions.
This is the community where we source up.
Exactly. And so that's what I want you. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that.
I'm gonna source my answer.
I'm so glad you mentioned that.
You want me to answer that question?
I want to ask you the question first. So I want you to be able to be quiet. Listen, I want you to be able to be quiet so I can ask you the question. And then if you'd like to actually show sources for the question to answer and do, I would love for you to do that. All right, that's no problem. But I want you to show some discipline. So the question is, Darwin's theory of blending
of evolution by means of natural selection. That's Darwin's theory. Do not...
Cedric, you got to be quiet, bro. You worse than Apostle, Cedric. And Apostle is the worst on here, bro.
No, stop. Cedric is scared, brother. This is called bravado. This is where you cover up your lack of understanding with bravado and, machismo and all kind of extra, extra, read all about it. What he wanted to do was come up here, say a whole bunch of stuff, play his video, and then run. He don't want to answer no questions.
I'm not playing a video, bro. I don't need to play a video to beat you. Okay. You're too easy.
Great. Okay. So
ask your question, EnQi.
I have a few questions, but we start with one. Can you explain to us, can you demonstrate, can you show us, can you provide us proof with an experiment that validates the predictions Darwin made in his theory, in his hypothesis for blending inheritance? Are you familiar with Darwin's hypothesis for blending inheritance? Yes or no?
All right, let's hear his response.
Watch how he flim-flammed y'all, folks. He's asking me for theories and experiments for Darwin's theory. And he's talking about...
Are you familiar with Darwin's hypothesis about blending inheritance?
Let him answer. Let him answer.
But he's not.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna take my time and answer this.
Okay, go ahead.
So, folks, what you just saw was the flim-flam. Mind you, Darwin theory is the theory of evolution by means of natural selection. That theory was corroborated later on, right? Which makes his hypothesis by means of the predictions that he made that we would find fossils that would link us up to Africans or other primates. After they started digging, lo and behold, the fossil record made Darwin's prediction a matter of fact. Darwin was also trying to develop a mode of inheritance. And he came up with a hypothesis that was, according to the scientific method, debunked. His hypothesis was proven false. It was false.
All right, you froze up, man.
understanding, right? So it proves the scientific method to be true.
Wait. We didn't hear you. Go back and go back. We didn't hear you.
You froze up.
Yeah, you froze up. Rewind that. We want to hear that part.
So Darwin.
Wait. We
understanding, right? So it proves the scientific method.
Definitely want to acknowledge the super chat. Really appreciate it. Father Nancy, shout out Dr. EnQi. Cedric really disappointed me today. He had no discipline. I thought he was a class act, not a class clown. Again, thank you for the super chat. And we want to definitely send a shout out and a thank you and much love to Cedric, because he definitely entertained us and he definitely helped me to destroy EnQi. EnQi has to get his team together because Cedric is helping us to destroy EnQi. EnQi has been holding it down for almost 20 years over there, and Cedric is getting ready to tear that whole thing up in less than 2 weeks. Oh my goodness.
All right, you froze up, man.
Understanding, right? So it proves the scientific method to be true.
Wait. We didn't hear you. Go back and go back. We didn't hear you.
You froze up.
Yeah, you froze up. Rewind that. We want to hear that part.
So Darwin's theory.
You were saying that Darwin predicted the fossils.
No, please. I know what exactly.
I just want to bring you back to where we missed. You were saying Darwin predicted the fossils.
I know.
The fossils.
Darwin's theory of evolution contained a prediction that we would find a fossil record. And lo and behold, when the digs were done, the fossil record was discovered, establishing and making Darwin's prediction part of his whole hypothesis and making it a scientific fact. Now, EnQi is making the pseudo claim that only experiments can establish scientific fact. No, we have inferences, right? What he was observing the finches, and he understood the environment produced and gave rise to a particular aspect, a particular species with particular traits that are best suited for that environment, right? That was Darwin's theory of evolution by means of natural selection. Environmental pressures is what drives the evolution. His hypothesis of one of the mechanisms, inheritance, which we know today, genetics, is a matter of fact. Darwin's proposed mechanism was proven false. This does not defeat or have anything to do with Darwin's theory of evolution by means of natural selection. And the fact that we understand genetics, and genetics is the key component in heredity, means that Darwin understood heredity. He just didn't have the explanation for the mechanism, proving that the scientific method works, because the method he proposed was proven to be falsified. Now, EnQi is trying to flim-flam. So he's asking for experiments when he doesn't understand that inference and deductive reasoning with corroborating evidence can establish the hypothesis and add to components of a scientific theory. You do not necessarily need experiments. The experiments came much later when dating these fossils based on strata and doing DNA experiments.
Come on, man! You're taking too long to answer the question, brother.
Now I'm gonna give it to him because he's on some flim-flam. So EnQi's question was bogus at the end of the day, and I gave you an accurate understanding of the whole concept. What EnQi's trying to do is to shoehorn a debunked hypothesis of a mechanism that we have established into Darwin's theory of evolution, which is evolution by means of natural selection. Flim-flam, EnQi, not with me. You're not ready.
Okay, so
I answered your questions. Can I share my screen now? I answered your questions. I'm gonna share my screen.
You didn't answer my question.
I answered your questions. I'm gonna share my screen now. Or you want to have 21 questions? Let me share my screen now.
Not necessarily 21, but I do want to respond. Hold on.
Now
I'll let you share your screen. Listen. Let me just respond to your answer, and then you can share your screen. Okay? Because I just want to make sure that I get to critique your quiz paper right there, because I want you to know you got an F. Okay, you got an F. The teacher gave you an F on that right there. I asked you for an experiment validating the predictions made about blending inheritance, right? Very specific question that you should know, since you guys opened the door up to this forensics level expose. This is a forensics level expose. And what happens is these guys are saying things that they're not even paying attention to. This is where I get these video clips from. I got to slow it down so they can hear. All throughout his explanation right there, where he put a lot of words together really fast and added the testosterone, he said, yeah, and Darwin was, he didn't have the information. It was falsified. It was proven incorrect. It was So first of all, what you're talking about is something different than what I'm talking about. But I'm glad that you put on the record that Darwin's concepts were debunked. You said that, not me. You said that. It's in the video. That's number one. Number two, when I was asking you about blending inheritance, a part of Darwin's hypothesis, one of his predictions that he made is that heritable variation would dilute the traits passed on generation to generation. The traits would dilute every generation because as the parents came together, their traits would blend together and dilute in each generation. That is a very specific prediction that Darwin made, and that prediction failed. Experiment. It failed. So this is what I'm saying. You opened up the door to a forensics level conversation now where we get to examine all these predictions. You also, I didn't even ask you to, but you also opened up the record and said that Darwin made predictions about the fossil record. The fossil record does not, I repeat, does not corroborate what Darwin's prediction was. In fact, the Cambrian explosion has only got worse, because when they did the Cambrian explosion, see, these guys are guilty of the same thing that they accuse religions of. They ask you to believe in things without proof. So what they said was the Cambrian explosion that proves intelligent design. They said, oh, no. The Cambrian explosion is going to be invalidated because in the future, we're going to find more fossils. And when we find these fossils will be the intermediary fossils of the Cambrian fossils. So we'll have the intermediary fossils. Sorry, you got to take them off the screen, brother, while I'm talking. We're going to find the intermediary fossils, and that's going to validate. Now, these guys like to distract you away from the science and take you to deductive reasoning and logical fallacies. So what I would like everybody to do is open up their Google real quick, and I want you to look up a logical fallacy. It's called appeal to the future. Appeal to the future. It is a logical fallacy and is the most prominent logical fallacy that these Darwinites like to use. Appeal to the future. We don't have the answers right now today. In fact, all the experiments say that we're incorrect today. But guess what? In the future, we're going to make a discovery that's going to prove what we're saying. In the future, we're going to find these fossils that's going to validate what we're saying. In the future, we'll be able to do an experiment that's going to validate what we're saying. But as you look up that logical fallacy called appeal to the future, look, he is not smiling anymore.
But I thought you were responding to what I said.
I am responding to what you said because you said
now you're
don't start that. Mute him again.
Can I share my screen?
No, you cannot. When I finish talking, you'll be able to share your screen. I thought you was laughing and having a good time.
Cedric.
I thought you was over there laughing and having a good time. What happened?
But you're not dealing with what
no,
we're
I'm
talking
absolutely
about.
dealing with you said.
You made a claim
Sorry,
about inheritance. I responded to you.
There we go. So you opened up the door about fossils. You opened up the door to the logical fallacy called appeal to the future. And so now that the audience is empowered with these things, it's not going to be so easy to dance around here. That's why I had to shout out OG Suntan. So again, you didn't answer the question, and I'm going to let you play your video. You didn't answer the question. I asked you about blended inheritance. All you had to do is say you didn't know about blended inheritance. That's all you had to do. You just had to say you didn't know about it, right? Or you could have provided us with the prediction made by blended inheritance, right? And you could have admitted that.
Again, can I respond to that question again?
You seem to be responding.
Darwin's hypothesis about inheritance, pangenesis, was debunked. And
we're not talking about pangenesis right now.
Yes, it's one and the same. But so you think switching up the words, you're gonna fool me? EnQi, sorry, wrong house.
Bro, you gotta relax yourself, man. You gotta show some discipline. Now, for the people that see, this is why. I mean, we're trying to get to your video, brother, but you're not able to control yourself. And then I got to keep debunking everything you say as you say it. So blending inheritance and pangenesis. See, now he done said those are the same thing. I'm trying to switch it up on y'all. Let me explain to y'all that they're not the same thing. Pangenesis was Charles Darwin's theory for how genetic material was transferred from parent to offspring. Blending inheritance is Charles Darwin's theory of what happens with traits as they're passed from generation to generation. See, these are two different things. Now, the problem is, let me show you the problem. The problem is that while these gentlemen have been doing a lot of talking, they haven't read any of this material right here. Because see, this material right here, these are Darwin's books. So if he had actually read this material, he would know the difference between pangenesis, which is the vehicle for genetic information to go from parent to offspring, versus blending inheritance, which is the process of how traits water down from generation to generation. So pangenesis was debunked. And not only was pangenesis debunked, we have another one. You know, like DJ Khaled say, another one. We have another one with blending inheritance. Blending inheritance was also debunked. It was also found to be an incorrect prediction that Darwin made based on his hypothesis. And then the fossil record. The fossil record was also proven to be incorrect because they found the Cambrian explosion. And then they said, well, the ancestors of the Cambrian explosion, you know, those fossils must be really soft. And so those fossils are so soft, they probably weren't well preserved. And then guess what happened? In China recently, they made another finding. And in China, they found older fossils that have been well preserved that totally validates the Cambrian explosion and completely debunks Darwin's prediction on fossils.
Let's see what Darwin's prediction.
So now we have three. Hold up. Now we have three different predictions. Now we have three different predictions that Darwin made based on his hypothesis that have all been proven incorrect. And this is why I said this is going to be torture. This is going to be torture for these people because when he opened the door, that's why he up here acting a fool. When he opened up the door and said,
working model and predictions. Yes, he was talking about abiogenesis, of course. But what he did was make a reference to the understanding of the scientific theory with abiogenesis. And so what I'm simply saying is he has opened up the door for us to now question every aspect of Charles Darwin's theories by looking for working models, valid predictions, and proven experiments. And when you start to ask them for valid models, proven predictions via proven experiments, it gets very crazy and very shaky. So go ahead, Sal. Let the brother play his video.
All right. Cedric is no longer here, but we got a sister that popped up and
Okay,
might want to ask the question. You got to turn on your camera, sis. You got to turn on the camera. Okay.
Yes. How are you?
Have a question.
You know what? I really and truly, I extend my apologies because I just saw you on, and I really have to rewind just a little bit to hear the full context. But the reason why I'm here is this Dr. EnQi?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. And Cyanida, is that correct? Am I saying your name correct?
Yeah.
My name is Moonlight. I come from the sector where Kwame Brown is for the most part. I'm very popular in that sector over there, Kwame Brown. I'm here. You know who I'm talking about? Right. I'm here.
Shout out to Kwame Brown.
Yeah. I'm here because we seem to have a person that you know and I know. That name is Research Ninja. Are you guys familiar with the name by Research Ninja?
No.
Sister Moonlight.
Oh, you don't know the Research Ninja?
Yeah, I don't know. No, listen to what I'm saying, Sister Moonlight.
Okay, hang on one second. Dr. EnQi, give me one second.
Sister Moonlight, this is not the place for the Research Ninja. Sister Moonlight, this is
okay, but do you know her? Do you know Sister Yaya?
Sister Moonlight.
No.
This is Sister
you don't
Moonlight.
know Sister Yaya either. Dr. EnQi, you know.
There we go.
Yeah, I had to get rid of you, sister. That's not what this is about right now. Sorry.
We talking about Darwin. We talking about Darwin and evolution. Oh my goodness. Stop.
What is she talking about though, EnQi? You know?
No, I don't know, sir.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's. But what I do know is that the evolutionists are in trouble. I know that the Darwinists are in trouble. I know that they done opened up a can of worms. And see, what people are going to find out is that Darwinism is a religion. Darwinism is a religion. They're on beliefs. And see, that's the difference between what's the Italian brother's name you had on yesterday, sir?
The Italian brother? Oh, damn. Jimmy, was it Jimmy?
Jamie.
Yeah. Kicking Apostle ass.
Yeah, but he was honest. If you notice, he said that his belief is evolution, and he doubled down on it multiple times and said evolution is a belief system. And see, this is the problem with Sekou and Ankh and these people. They have revealed something that they done opened up a can of worms that can never go back. All these people just saw what happened with 3 prime examples. And there's a lot more examples. There's a lot more examples. There's a lot more examples when we get into the forensics of this information. When we start to examine and put each aspect of Darwin's predictions under a microscope, courtesy of Cedric, mind you. Cedric is the one who came up with this. When we start to put each one of these predictions under a microscope, they're going to fail. They're going to fail.
And I have the predictions. I have the predictions because I've been going through the material. I've been going through Darwin's material, finding the predictions. Finding the predictions. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, so he predicted this. Let me see if this is true. This is incorrect. This is incorrect. That's incorrect. So these guys have no predictions, no experiments, no working models. In fact, there is more proof that Jesus existed. There's more proof that Jesus existed than the last common ancestor that they've been searching for. Where's Dizali? where the rest of them at? See, they run like roaches with the lights on. So if nobody wants to speak up, we can go on to another one. Right? We can go.
All right. Hey, yo, EnQi, how long you gonna be? About another what? 40 minutes?
Well, I think that I think I done totally debunked them already. I mean,
okay, I think you did too. Cedric done ran off again.
Wait. We got Antonio Smith. Does Antonio Smith want to come up?
Antonio Smith. You know, these dudes are just keyboard gangsters, man. They only
what about Philo Mathematic?
Yeah, but they only get confidence in the the chat. Because they scared to hit the link and speak their truth. So if he's such a liar, come on in here and prove it to the people. Source it up, nigga. You ain't gonna do that because you just the keyboard gangster, man. You ain't gonna do that. Cedric, no more you, Cedric. You don't know how to be disciplined, Cedric. I love you, brother, but you're not disciplined, man. You want him, EnQi, or what?
I mean, I don't. He's not going to come up here and answer no questions. If he come up here, he just want to yell and show.
Antonio Smith, you are a keyboard gangster. You only talk your shit in the chat. You're not going to hit the link. You're scared to death, and you're not going to hit the link. So that's what makes you a keyboard gangster.
And the thing is, Unc has already said it multiple times himself. They scared to answer my question.
And one more thing, I am not saving EnQi. I don't like when people don't have discipline. I don't like the talking over. I don't like getting hoarse. I don't like having to keep saying, stop, brother, stop, brother, stop. Let him speak, brother. I'm tired of doing that when we are all grown ass fucking men. Let the person speak. You ask a question, let them answer the question without interruptions. That's all. That's all I'm saying, man.
I'm telling you, he's embarrassed. That's why he's behaving like that. Because what happens is when I ask them questions, it exposes that they don't know what they're talking about. Every single video I come up here, every video so far, I have asked them questions about Darwin's theories, about something they never heard of before. Every time. So now I'm asking him about blending inheritance, and he's, that's the same thing as pangenesis. That means he never heard of Darwin's concept of blending inheritance. Because if he knew what Darwin's concept of blending inheritance was, he wouldn't have made such an asinine statement. And the statement is already on video. So you could come up here. I'm glad you done put on a shirt. He is listening. I am teaching these guys. He is listening. I told him to go get dressed and calm himself. Go get dressed and get yourself together. He got a shirt on. Okay. What? Let's see what you back there mumbling. Go ahead, Cedric. What you talking about?
Is this any information? Please share my screen because I stay focused. I came up here to deal with that bogus clip you had, and that's where we're going to stay. And the fact that you just said Pangenesis is its concept of inheritance. And you're talking about the proposed mechanism, which was debunked. That's exactly what I said. But you want to flim-flam with words and you want to do that concept. All we're going to do is share my screen. I don't need a video. Why would I need a video to deal with you, EnQi? I don't need to cut up no fake video and stuff.
Hit the share screen for him. Let him do his thing. What are you trying to do? I hope you're going to answer the question.
Is my screen sharing? So here,
I hope this is about the information, brother.
So again, what was Darwin's predictions that made his idea what the predictions that made Darwin's idea scientific? Darwin's predictions of transitional fossils. Huh? So now he's laughing. Now, Archaeopteryx, Tiktaalik, Australopithecus, these were all confirmed Darwin's predictions of intermediate forms between apes and humans. So when we are talking about Darwin's theory of evolution, by means of natural selection, his hypothesis with regards to heredity was proven false. His mechanism was debunked. But hereditary by means of genetics was confirmed. So even though his mechanism, his route to the process was proven false, the hypothesis of inheritance was still ultimately true. What we discovered by means of science is that his mechanism was wrong. Now, these are all the traits which why we say you do not understand what you're talking about. Then you conflate that with abiogenesis. Why is abiogenesis a hypothesis, not yet a scientific theory? Because we don't have the mechanisms to complete it. That's what I said, EnQi. So now the fact that you up here, you're conflating the two, when you conflate the two, it's an indicative that you don't know what you're talking about, or you want to flim-flam and bamboozle the people. You stop sharing the screen, sir. I don't need a video to deal with you. I can prove in real time that you're intellectually dishonest.
Okay.
You asking, no, let me continue. I'm up here, came back, now I'm up top. When you flim-flam the people and asking me, it's like I'm asking you, EnQi, prove to me you don't beat your wife. Oh, EnQi, you stop beating your wife? Answer that question. The question itself is fallacious. Why? Because Darwin's scientific theory is evolution by means of natural selection. When we talk about one of the mechanisms he proposed for an established scientific fact, which is hereditary inheritance, which is a scientific fact today, inheritance, his mechanisms, the mode of this process was proven flawed. It was later replaced with Mendel's theory. So, EnQi, you're up here flim-flamming, bamboozling the people because you think we don't know the subject, and you do the same thing. I'm up here to address the flaws in that video, the flim-flam, the proof that you don't understand the English language. And here we go again, you're trying to do 21 questions. And I'm not here to do 21 questions. What I want you to do now is play that same video again after what I just said. See if you can stand on the lies you up here telling, the flim-flamming you're doing with the people. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Isn't genetics, inheritance by means of genetics, an established scientific fact? So the hypothesis, the concept of inheritance, which Darwin proposed, was a matter of fact. His mechanism was wrong. You know what that proves? That the scientific method works. His predictions, you saw it. So those predictions, which were confirmed, Tiktaalik, Archaeopteryx, and all the hominids that we've known, that they established Darwin's prediction, because he said we would find them if we dig in the strata, and that is exactly what we found. That's what makes Darwin's theory a hypothesis. And your misappropriation of the Cambrian explosion, a typical creationist trick. Tell the people how long the Cambrian explosion was. Tell the people how long it was, EnQi. Or I will. Go ahead, tell the people. Go ahead, EnQi, you got the floor.
Great. So I have a question. When you in the midst of all that, because I think it's probably hard for people to understand what you're saying. So when you came on here, you were very adamant about us sticking to Charles Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection. You were very adamant that I not talk about anything outside of Charles Darwin's theory. So can I ask you the question, brother? Is genetics any way a part of Charles Darwin's theory? Like, did Charles Darwin come up with genetics? Yes or no?
He came up with inheritance. His mechanism was...
I know. Did Charles Darwin come up with genetics?
Why?
Yes or no? Is genetics a part of Darwin's theory?
Mendel put that in there.
So the answer is no.
Mendel
right?
is the one who...
so the answer is no, right?
Correctly.
So
but Darwin's proposed of inheritance was an established fact. Yes, that became an established fact. His mechanism.
Hold on. No.
But inheritance, which he proposed, is a fact of science today.
Hold on.
So Darwin's proposal was a fact.
Did Darwin propose?
Yeah. So Darwin's proposal that inheritance was a matter of fact was correct. His mechanism was wrong. Later on, genetics proved that his concept of inheritance was right. It's just his mechanism was wrong. So again, go ahead. Try fooling people again.
So again, I'm just asking.
Why are you asking me the same stupid question over after I just answered it with the same way? See, your ignorance,
and I'm going to keep asking you until you give us an answer. Or I'm going to keep asking you until you give us an answer.
You do not understand the subject matter. That's why you're posing such an ignorant question. So I'm taking the time to educate you. So Darwin proposed hereditary. He saw yet it must pass from parent to offspring. His mechanism was flawed. His own cousin debunked his mechanism. Later on, Mendel's proposed mechanism of inheritance was later brought into the mix, which confirmed Darwin's hypothesis of inheritance. His proposed mechanism was debunked. This proves that science worked. It was falsifiable and it was falsified. Go ahead, EnQi.
No, I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I know you're just trying to, but not with me, bro. You ain't ready.
I'm trying to get you to tell me.
You're trying to get me to do what? Acquiesce to a faulty premise? I'm the A side. I'm never going to do that. I'll correct every incorrect statement you make.
All right, EnQi, so close out. Let's go. You got to close out, man.
Okay, I guess I got to close out. So first things first. What? Yeah, where, yo, is he in a pet store while he doing, like, where is he? Yo, where is he at? Like, what is going on in his life? Like, what's happening with him over there? Somebody need a wellness check on bro. Like, somebody need to reach out to him, make sure he all right. Like, what is happening over there? He said was absolutely incorrect. And you see how they run. You see how they run. Genes has nothing to do with Darwin. Genes has nothing to do with Darwin. This is why I told everybody to get very familiar with the appeal to the future, because they have a whole bunch of these logical fallacies associated with their claims and their religion. Okay. When we took, matter of fact, hit the share screen, son. Hit the share screen. Well, I don't even know why I gotta, like, it's no, let's just do that. Let's just hit the share screen real quick, son. See, this is all I was trying to get the brother to do. This is the exact same question I asked him. Was Darwin's prediction about blending inheritance true? And it says no. Darwin's prediction about blending inheritance was not true. His theory of natural selection was incompatible with it because blending would have diluted beneficial traits before natural selection could act. See, this is what I'm saying. When we get to the forensics when we get into the actual scientific concepts, not the jargon, not counting on the fact that most of the audience is unfamiliar with the information. So if you start rambling off a bunch of scientific words really fast and you get passionate, those things will add up together and make it seem like you're correct. See, when you start looking this stuff up, single piece by piece by piece, you will see that this is all foolishness. And this is why it was a suicide mission for him to open up the door. For him to open up the door to this conversation largely about predictions, because they don't have any predictions. They don't have any experiments to stand on. They have no predictions to stand on, no experiments to stand on. They are in trouble when it comes to this here. So we can close out.
Read the whole page for us. Just read the whole page for us.
Nah, man, I'm out. We out, y'all.
Exactly. Hold up.
That's the same thing. EnQi don't know what the hell a scientific theory is, else he wouldn't have took the damn debate. That's why I'm showing this. Okay, a scientific theory is an explanation of an aspect of the natural world that can be or that has been repeatedly tested and as corroborating evidence. It's in accordance with the scientific method using accepted protocols and observations, measurements and evaluations and results. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Wait. That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Why didn't he?
That's it.
Why didn't he keep reading to the word experiment?
That's it.
Why didn't he mention validating the predictions of the hypothesis? You sure that's it?
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
We have a model, a hypothesis of abiogenesis, life emerging from chemical process.
Now Cedric is debunked again because he said that I tried to hide from y'all that he was talking about abiogenesis, which is clearly in my video. This is why I had to play this back so y'all could see even more how silly all of his behavior was. Let me rewind that for you again so y'all can hear that.
You sure that's it?
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
We have a model, a hypothesis of abiogenesis, life emerging from chemical processes, and there are parts and portions of that hypothesis that has been fit. The main problem to create and produce a scientific theory, you would need a prediction, and you would need to recreate Earth's early circumstances to accurately model that effect. And that process of accurately modeling early Earth's environment is quite difficult and almost impossible. So abiogenesis, we have the concepts of how early life formed, the first cells, but it's not, like Ang said, a complete scientific theory because we don't have a complete working model and we don't have a prediction. What? But it's not, like Ang said, a complete scientific theory because we don't have a complete working model and we don't have a prediction. What? But it's not, like Ang said, a complete scientific theory because we don't have a complete working model, because we don't have a complete working model, and we don't have a prediction. What? But we don't have a prediction. It's not, like Ang said, we don't have a prediction. Complete scientific, we don't have a prediction theory because we don't have a prediction. A complete working model, we don't have a prediction, and we don't have a prediction. What? But it's not, like Ang said, a complete scientific theory because we don't have a complete working model and we don't have a prediction.
Rise up, get healthy, let the truth ignite. Dr. EnQi always bringing dark to light. See more senior system.
All right, we out. Thank you, EnQi.
Hold up. We got to hear from Unc.
Zelly, hold on. So we got EnQi in the building. He says, listen, I have a whole book available on Amazon now. It says blacks, what? Anatomy, AL solves the evolution problem. Yeah, go get that book. Go get the book. All right. We're gonna get the book and do a book read on it, and we're gonna tear it to smithereens. But you got to get it to tear it to smithereens.
You got to get it to tear it to smithereens. Smithereens. A-L. What? A-L. Smithereens. Oh, man. It's crazy. Hopefully the people are, not even hopefully, the people are definitely learning though as we go along. You know, so we're definitely doing something. I appreciate everybody's time. Another one bites the dust. Yo, that brother Cedric was for a long time. When I say a long time, he started like making, expose Dr. EnQi videos, and he was doing that. I never knew who he was. He was doing that for maybe 2 or 3 years before I ever heard of his name even. I didn't know who he was. And then from there, he always was like on this, yeah, I'm gonna get, go one-on-one with Dr. EnQi. We're gonna debate something and I'll debunk him and I'll show everyone that I'm smarter than EnQi, and And I'm just saying, like, even being involved in a situation doesn't stop me from learning from the situation, because I'm still able to separate myself from the situation and be like, man, because I still want to grow and do new things, you know what I'm saying? So I just, you know what I'm saying? Like that Eminem song comes into my mind, you know what I'm saying? Like, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. That was, Cedric was waiting. He literally was waiting for that one shot for, I don't even know, maybe 5 or 6 years. I'm sure his audience would know better than me, you know what I'm saying? But he's been waiting for that one shot to be one-on-one, Yeah, because people believe that it's easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they be watching the videos and they have in their mind, that they're going to, whoever I'm debating, they think that person just somehow they dropped the ball. And if they could be that person, they could show everybody that I don't know what I'm talking about. And right up until the point when they get the chance to become that person. And, it never works out exactly as planned. You know what I'm saying? Never, it doesn't, it doesn't really work out the way they planned it. And listen, I think my answer to that is all praise to the Most High, most talented, right? Yeah. Intelligent design. That's my answer. God did. You know what I'm saying? They ain't believe in us. God did. You know what I'm saying? That's my answer. So yeah, God bless, and yeah. That's beautiful to end the night on that. I really appreciate that. I want to send double, quadruple, quintuple the amount of blessings right back to you, Jack. Definitely appreciate that. Yo, that's exactly what he listen. I've been patiently waiting for a live to explode on. He was waiting, bro. He couldn't even put his clothes on. He must have been in the middle. He must have been in the middle of, I don't know. It looked like he was in the middle of getting high, maybe, or something. I don't know what he was on. You know what I'm saying? I could only think it. I can only honestly think is that you're off that mufkazoot, yeah? You on that, you know what I mean? Like, he in the background moving all kind of wild and doing gestures to his face. Like he was going crazy. That was wild. But that's why I was like, you know, that's crazy. You wait all this time to debunk me and prove to everybody you smarter than me. And I don't know. I guess that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? I thank God for that people want to prove they're smarter than me. So obviously that means, you know, I've achieved some level of, you know what I'm saying? Like I got some sort of belt in their mind anyway, something that they want to strip me of or prove to, you know. So, you know, I thank God for that. But you wait till you got your opportunity and then you did that. Like that was crazy. And why wouldn't you get another shot? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I give him another shot in the future after he did that? Because I'm sure after he watches, like, I'm sure he'll sneak over here and watch it, or maybe he'll watch the playback and get on side page or whatever, or people that, you know, that we have in common, like people that watch Sai's platform and that also watch their platform, you know, they'll watch that and go, all these years you've been saying you was, you know what I'm saying? Like making me out to be like a big bully. You know, the little guy always be like, yo, when I see him, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do to him. Listen, as soon as I see him, this is what I'm going to do to him. And you seen me. And you look crazy. You couldn't even put your clothes on.
Rise up, get healthy, let the truth ignite. Dr. EnQi always bringing dark to light. See moss in your system, make you feel so clean. Breathe, feel the inspiration, live out your dreams, please. 3 years deep, Dr. EnQi in the fight. Healing souls with knowledge, bringing truth to the light. Held it down for Amber, but started small but bold. Now it's a community staple, the stories unfold. Diabetes reverse. For who? EnQi got it on deck. The blood pressure dropping too. That high blood tame with his famous sea moss. Empowering the people and never counting the cost. July 10th, 2022. We'll never forget. Health revolution spark. The fire's burning. Yeah. From a YouTube page to a global wave. Let's go. The knowledge and the power Dr. EnQi could truly save. Watch our hearts awake. Breathe. Feel the movement's inspiration. Chains break.
This is why you have to go to Amazon and get the book, Rich Abs, Poor Abs, now.